Coming here to the aid of King Corbin, but Roman Reigns is...
Roman Reigns warns Solo Sikoa ahead of their clash on WWE Raw's Netflix debut. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will battle for the first time. The OTC Roman Reigns has sent a stern warning to Solo Sikoa ahead of their clash in the debut episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The two stars will clash in a tribal combat match where the sacred Ula Fala is on the line. The winner of the match will be crowned as the real tribal chief of the Bloodline. Reigns is looking to restore order and reclaim his seat at the high table with the Ula Fala around his neck, while Sikoa wants to defeat Reigns to solidify himself as the real tribal chief. WWE RAW Netflix. 3 shocking twists to expect from Roman Reigns vs. Solo Sikoa. Tribal combat match. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are set to collide in a tribal combat match on WWE Raw on Netflix's debut show. The winner will be crowned the undisputed and the only tribal chief of WWE. WWE is only a day away from one of its most historic events as its flagship show, Monday Night Raw, moves to the streaming giant Netflix. The debut show is set to take place on Monday, January 6th, at the Intuit Dome in the city of Los Angeles, California. The event will mark the beginning of a new era, with one of the most exciting match cards planned for the show. One of those highly anticipated matches will see the collision between 2 top Samoan wrestlers to earn the right to be the Supreme One. The leader of the new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, will challenge the OTC Roman Reigns, with the winner being presented with the sacred Ula Fala and becoming the real tribal chief. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman have proven themselves to be one of the top wrestler-manager duos in WWE history ever since they aligned together in 2020. The Wiseman came back to Reigns' side upon the latter's return after WrestleMania XL and will be in the corner of his tribal chief. However, witnessing the rise of Solo Sikoa and his dangerous bloodline, Heyman could switch to the powerful side in the tribal combat and betray Roman Reigns in a huge shocker, thereby costing him the match and pledging his allegiance to Solo and his army. Apart from the current members of the Bloodline, there are other members from the illustrious Anoa'i family that have signed with WWE last year. The names include Hikuleo and Lance Anoa'i, but they have yet to debut on WWE TV. The tribal combat can see a similar sight from 2022 WWE Clash at the Castle, where a new member of the Anoa'i family could debut and interfere on behalf of either Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa to change the complexion of the bout. The Rock has seemingly confirmed his appearance for WWE Raw on Netflix's debut show in his latest social media post. With the final boss possibly set to enter the fold with his resurgence, he could make his presence in the tribal combat, costing Roman Reigns the match against Solo Sikoa. Following Solo becoming the new tribal chief, The Rock could be revealed as the original mastermind behind the new Bloodline, who had instructed Solo to form the faction after Roman Reigns lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. Ahead of the clash in the historic show at the Intuit Dome, Roman took to his official X, Twitter, handle where he hyped up the tribal combat match, promising a game-changing moment. The OTC also reiterated that there can be only one tribal chief. This is the first time the 2 stars are going head-to-head in a singles competition. The 2 stars last fought at Survivor Series 2024 PLE. Reigns, along with the OG Bloodline, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk, took on Solo Sikoa's Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed. Reigns' OG Bloodline emerged victorious in the men's War Games clash, which was held at the Rogers Arena on November 30th. The OTC will likely try to continue the momentum and reclaim his position as the head of the table. 2 grudge matches and a title clash is also set for the Raw debut episode. WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan will defend her crown against her fierce rival Rhea Ripley in the debut episode of the Red Brand. Ripley wants to reclaim the title, which she never lost, while Morgan wants to continue her dominance and put an end to this feud. A grudge match between main event Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre has also been booked for the debut show. The match was made official during last week's episode of the Red Brand, where McIntyre took out Jey with a vicious claymore. In the main event of the debut show, CM Punk and Seth Rollins will clash to settle their score. Rollins believes that Punk is a cancer and he has to get rid of it, while Punk wants to teach him a lesson about respect. Who do you think is the real tribal chief between Reigns and Sikoa? Let us know your predictions for the debut show in the comment section. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa or CM Punk versus Seth Rollins? Main event for WWE RAW Netflix premiere revealed. The main event of tonight's WWE RAW premiere on Netflix has reportedly been revealed. As per Dr. Chris Featherstone, Seth Rollins vs. CM Punk is set to headline the first ever episode of the Red brand on Netflix. In a few hours, WWE will present the very first edition of its flagship show on Netflix. The show is packed with several highly anticipated bouts from beginning to end, and the main event will be a blockbuster singles match between two real-life rivals. As per Dr. Chris Featherstone, Seth Rollins and CM Punk will collide in the main event of the history-making show. Rollins and Punk have had issues with each other in the past, and they will finally battle it out on the Raw premiere on Netflix. The two men once had nothing but respect and admiration for each other. Punk left WWE on a bad note back in early 2014 and badmouthed the Stanford-based promotion every chance he got. Meanwhile, Rollins worked incredibly hard to cement himself as one of the all-time greats and wasn't happy one bit when Punk returned to WWE in 2023. Fans can't wait to see who will come out on top when these two men finally butt heads in the ring. WWE RAW on Netflix debut. 3 things that might happen if Solo Sikoa loses to Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa will face off against the OTC Roman Reigns in a singles match for the first time in his WWE career. The two stars will lock horns in a tribal combat match where the sacred Ula Fala is on the line. The high-stakes match between the two would determine the future of the Bloodline, as well as who the real tribal chief is between the two. Reigns is looking to restore order and reclaim his seat at the high table with the Ula Fala around his neck, while Sikoa wants to defeat Reigns to solidify himself as the real tribal chief. Here we take a look at 3 things that might happen if Sikoa fails to defeat Reigns and retain the Ula Fala in the tribal combat match. If Roman Reigns emerges successful in his conquest of regaining the Ula Fala, he will be able to reassert control over the Bloodline like he used to. The Ula Fala around his neck will also signify his return as the tribal chief, a position that Sikoa snubbed from him when he was on a hiatus following his devastating loss at the hands of Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. Sikoa has also stated that if he loses the clash, he will acknowledge Reigns as his tribal chief, which might also force his hand to follow orders from the OTC once again. The Bloodline members could question their loyalty. History could repeat itself as the then Bloodline members questioned their loyalty towards Reigns after his undisputed WWE title loss against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. While Reigns was on a hiatus and didn't suffer the